Hello, this is Grant. Welcome back to the first Dead Rising 1 Master Run for Overtime mode. So we're going to start off with the continuation of the game. Isabel's pretty damn good with that gun, compared to some of the other survivors in this game. I feel like Frank just must be in shock at seeing that, because he's been going for days. Who knows how little sleep or rest he's gotten, and then just it was all for nothing, I guess.
You're awake. Oh, thank God. It wasn't easy getting you back here by myself, you know.
I think Frank knows exactly how that is based off the other AI in this game.
I collapsed? No, Wait. Does that mean...
So basically they're going to set up the story of Overtime mode here, and kind of what's going on. To be honest, Overtime mode doesn't really have much point. It really is just to kind of set up future things in the series and talk about how they got out.
You must have gotten yourself infected somehow.
I hadn't realized before, but I guess she's saying he fainted because he's infected.
The time between infection and zombification differs greatly from person to person. You're lucky, Frank. You seem to have a very high level of resistance.
This is all pretty bad news for him.
So what you're saying is that I get to spend longer waiting for the inevitable. Is that it?
He is not taking it well.
You know, I'm not sure lucky is the word I'd use.
I wonder, like, I talked to another episode, I wish that there was a canon point where he got bitten. I think it's assumed that throughout your journeys you probably did get bitten.
The helicopter crashed.
I mean, I don't think it's likely that if you go through the entire game without taking any damage, or at least no zombie damage,
Help us now.
then there's something else, but it'd be nice if, like, there's a cutscene where he gets bit. Maybe very subtly, or something. Or even, like,
It's over for us.
somewhere where he passes out with zombies in the room, and he's quickly found, but it's assumed that he probably got bit at least a little bit during that event. But I talked before that it would need to be in such a way that it would only occur if you were doing Overtime mode. Because it's not canon that he gets bitten
What if there was someone
that
to impede the
if you're not
infection?
doing this. Because he just flies away and that doesn't happen. Like, you don't collapse.
If we could extract and administer a large dose of hormones from the corpus allatum of an adult queen, it would potentially hinder the growth of the larva in your blood, retarding the zombification process.
Hang on a sec.
So, it seems that she was
What are we supposed to do?
like, employee of the company Dr. Barney worked for that developed this, because she talks about having made this stuff before. It's a lot, like, it sounds like she's just coming up with the idea, but on the other hand, I don't know. It seems like she's done it before. Later on, she says, like, oh, I've only made this once or twice in the lab. We synthesized it. I think maybe it's that she's made it before, but she's never made it from these live queens. So you'll notice now we have our little ticker down there changed to time until you are zombified. Not that you would need 24 hours to do Overtime mode. Basically, we are going to get a little to-do list of picking up all these random things from in the mall. I actually kind of like this part, how it likes to go to all these cool stores and stuff you would never bother to look at otherwise. We also have an intro to some new enemies. There's these little drones with machine guns that, one, will shoot you, and two, will spot you and they'll call for reinforcements. They're pretty weak, though, if you have a gun. But it's kind of cool how things change. After being in the mall so long with all these zombies, all of a sudden there's nothing. But alright, we're gonna head on out. First thing we're gonna get is cold spray. I think the best way to do this is just make a big loop around the mall. At this point, everything's open, so it's pretty simple. There's a bunch of stuff in the entrance plaza. There's like 1 or 2 things and everything else. It's all pretty simple. So here, you're supposed to be kind of stealthy to avoid them, but I'm pretty good. Considering now I have a ton of health and I have this chainsaw. But these guys give you 5,000 PP per kill. That's pretty substantial, so it's really easy. Like, you can easily farm up levels, even in regular mode. That being said, the bullets are pretty bad against them, because they have bulletproof vests. You can note there the short range on the shotgun. So, alright, we just gotta take out that little drone. They're kind of cute in a way, like there's just these little tiny blimps. I really like them, they're cool. They reappear again at the end of the game. Alright, we're gonna go pick up the first aid kit, I believe. It's in where we got medicine for Brad the first time, and Sean's. I'm gonna be opening up the map a lot, just so I make sure I'm going to the right location. Man, it's efficient. Machine gun's probably one of the best guns in the game, barring the one from the convict's car, that Humvee. There's not much use for it in overtime mode, except for like when you go to the maintenance tunnels and there's a bunch of zombies. You do get an achievement if you fire the entire thing without missing. You can cheat and use the beef when the fight with Larry. You can just go down there and shoot a slab of meat, and for some reason it counts. So here I kind of forget what I'm doing, and they kind of show up. I'm supposed to be getting this first aid kit over in the corner. It's on the... I guess I was expecting something on the ground like it was the first time you come here. But, yeah, it's right there on the wall if I see it. There I go. I never come in this area. There's nothing that ever happens. I kind of want to go back and have a look around and really break down the game. Be like, hey, look at this neat thing. Maybe I should do like a 10 things you didn't know about Dead Rising 1 series. Or I can go through and point out some really cool little stuff. Because there are some like cool little jokes and parodies on the items, or some fun interactions. Okay, hey, gonna head back on out. Next thing we're gonna do is the magnifying glass in Wonderland Plaza. It's at a jeweler's. Luckily we can take this one, and we have I don't know if you can see this in the video. There's a huge amount of lag for some reason. I guess it might be just with like rendering the dead bodies or something. It's weird. This is the one place motorcycle is convenient because we can take it all the way to the food court, which is basically where we're going. I usually find it more convenient to just crash into something than to get off the motorcycle. Yeah. It feels like it takes the same time because stopping it and getting off for some reason is really difficult, because if you're moving at all, it's just won't give you the option. That guy's just chilling. Alright, there we go. That's the Disembowel. That's a one-shot kill. It's a little hard to do because it's one of the several moves that are like press X and A at the same time, but based off like where your stick is and what your orientation to the person is, it'll do different things. Like if you do it from behind, it's a suplex. If you do it in front, it's pull out the intestines. If you do it like from the front but pressing backwards or some shit, it will lift them up. It's all kinds of weird. We're gonna take this out. Vehicle controls in Dead Rising are not the best. You can kind of hear the drones beeping at me as I drive by. I had really wanted to like vault using like getting thrown off from that to vault over. If you watch my Food Court Carlito guide, there's those 2 yogurts there. You can mix with the blender to make Quickstep, which is really useful in that fight. And it's nice because they're just right here. Quickstep in general, it would be something that if the game was harder, I would look into a lot more, just for its ability to save you time. It doesn't last very long, but if you could make it like somewhere reliably, like say if you could make it every time you're in Paradise Plaza, when you have like nothing else to do, for example, because sometimes you just have downtime. I would totally carry around like, I don't really need those shotguns I have. I would totally much rather carry around like 5 Quickstep and just keep drinking them and just speed through. Awesome. Motorcycle has kind of a mind of its own there when it fell back. I never go to Alfresco Plaza, it's just weird. Maybe it's because it's basically outside. I don't know. It doesn't seem to fit with like the rest of the mall. And you never go to these stores. There's like, unless there's explicitly a scoop, you never go to Alfresco stores. It's just there. Which is too bad. They got a hardware store that's pretty useful. And some food. A little odd. I could be a lot better about my inventory management. There's a lot of times I run around like, oh god, which slot did I put it in? But there's a couple things we can get from Entrance Plaza. Entrance Plaza is the area with the most clothes. Just FYI. So if you want to go play some dress up, gotta start here. It's got some interesting stores. Like there's this camping store I think we have to go to. It seems like it should have more of a use. I think the Entrance Plaza is very specifically designed around fighting people with guns. That's why they have these like long sight lines, the pillars to block, and then you fight the sniper family, like the Hall family and Carlito here. I should really use the battle axe more. I come by this and when I have improvements with the books for it, it's a great weapon. If you like the double lariat at all, it's basically that, but better. These guys kind of blend in if you ever wonder why I just walk by them. Plus, I don't know how much like attention I'm paying, because at this point, I just need to walk over there and find stuff. What's nice is we're gonna end second. We're gonna end up going back to the security room. I don't know the exact time, but I want to say sometime after the military starts spawning, they'll unweld that door so you can get to the security room from this area. It's a neat little change. I'm sure it's something people forget about. And after that, that'll be about pretty much everything on our little shopping list. Amazing. That's a really great skill. Thank God it works against them, because otherwise there'd be no real use for it. Maybe farm PP from zombies if you really want. There's a couple PP stickers in here. I always remember on the one in the tent. I think that's the first one I ever got, was this tent one. I can't believe more stuff in this like store isn't usable as a weapon. It's unfortunate. But yeah, we can head right on out to get some coffee filters from the security room, and then we're gonna be about done. I actually go out here to see what it's like, because you never go to these places. It's kind of odd. I mean, it'd be weird if like, oh, you could leave the whole time and you don't have to do any of this. But I'm Grant, and don't take your disembowelments for granted.